Good morning friends. Today in our recipe train we are going to make rasam powder. It is also called soup powder. You can use it for your soup, vegetable soup or any kind of lentil pea soup, or you can use it for rasam. So this powder is multi-purpose for sure, and definitely check my recipes where we use the rasam powder. We use it for our kootu recipes too, so it just adds a wonderful flavor, and not to mention it is very nutritious. As you can see, the ingredients that we are going to use is from the Indian spice list. So over here I have all these measurements in the description box, but just to refresh our memory, I'm just going to go over them one by one. So over here we have the coriander seeds. I have 1.5 cup coriander seeds, and I have a little more than a half a cup of cumin seeds, maybe half cup plus 1 tablespoon of cumin seeds, half cup of black pepper, and I have a half cup of Toor dhal. And I also have, this is supposed to be a quarter cup of red chilies, but it's just that playing it by hand because it depends on the spice taste that you all like. So this is supposed to be a flat red chili. If you buy the round bulb red chili, definitely reduce the amount because it's going to be very spicy. So this is kind of a mild spicy red chili, so this is good enough for our family. But if you want extra spicy, you can go for the Mexican red chilies, or you can go for the bulb chilies. So those are extra spicy. So what we are going to do now, friends, is we are going to dry fry each and every one of them separate, and then we are going to use this jar or any blender of your choice, and we are going to dry grind them and store it in an airtight container. And it's so simple, easy. Let's see how we can dry fry every ingredient. Alright friends, my stove is on medium heat, and it is not even hot yet, so it's just a little over the warm temperature. So I'm just going to add the coriander seeds. This is a 1.5 cup, 1.5 cups. And make sure you fry them every now and then because we are dry roasting it, and we don't want it to be too dark. It's just that we are getting the raw smell out of it. That's pretty much it. So when you do the coriander roast, you will always see fumes. So we don't want to go to that level where you see the fumes. That means it is over roasted. It has to be light brown. So it adds that wonderful flavorful aroma when you start consuming them, or even when you add on to your recipes. You will see that the aroma has really come through, and the roasting is one of the most important steps. Okay, it's very well roasted now, and I'm just going to turn off the heat and remove this and pour it into my plate. You can take a wider plate. So this is how it's supposed to be. Cumin seeds don't take much longer, but we can just go really quick so we don't burn them. The key here, friends, is to make sure you separately dry roast all of these ingredients. Do not put everything together because these ingredients have different texture, and you don't want to mix them because you will roast one and the other one gets burnt or not get roasted well. So just to make sure we do it right, we have to dry roast separately. Okay, it is done. And how do we figure out whether it is done or not? When you see this white filament to it, the shell becomes white. So you don't have to have everything white, but that is the indication that it is well roasted. And I'm just going to go ahead and transfer again into this plate. It's okay to mix them now, but not when you're roasting it. The next one that goes in is our pepper. We have to be very careful with pepper because they could be very spicy when they are roasting it. So it could burn pretty fast, and it creates a huge odor. So you may sneeze, you may sniff, and all of that. So make sure you stay away from the stove a little 1 feet away and start roasting it. I'm giving all these tips for people who are very new to Indian cooking, and especially the Indian spices. But if you are a pro and you already know how to do all of this, hats off to you guys, and thank you for your patience. Okay, it is roasted now. I'm just going to go ahead and transfer again. There we go. And now we have to do our Toor dhal. Masoor dal takes a little longer than the rest of these ingredients. While that is roasting, I'm just going to transfer these into my jar. So here it is very well roasted right here. As you can see, the light brown shade to it. Now I'm going to transfer into my plate again. So, the next thing or the last thing is the red chili. If you are new to frying the red chili, make sure you stay away at least feet apart, because this is going to create a lot of spicy fumes. And how do we know these chilies are dry roasted? So you will see a dark tint to it when you roast it, and of course the aroma. So usually this powder we keep it for 3 to 6 months. So depending on how much you use and your size of the family, you can double or triple this recipe. Okay, there you go. Let me show you how it's done. So you guys can see the black tint to it. That's the sign that it is done. I'm going to turn off my heat right now. Add it to my plate. And what we are going to do right now is we are going to add these to the rest of the ingredients over here, and watch out, it is extremely hot. So what we are going to do is we're going to let it sit for like 20 to 30 minutes for it to cool off a little bit, because if you dry grind it right now, it is just going to create a lot of fumes and it is going to be very messy. So let's wait for 20 to 30 minutes and we will start grinding it, and I will show you the consistency and the texture that it has to be grind. I'll be back. Okay friends, after 30 minutes I went ahead and I dry grind it, and this is the consistency that you are looking at. Okay, it looks very similar to the dana jeera powder, because pretty much similar ingredients, but we added a few for our rasam powder. It's just a little different. You can use it for your soup or your rasam or even kootu, and many different recipes that you can use this for. And you only need like 1 tablespoon of this whole good thing for every recipe. You know, we have never used more than that. And I have this glass jar that I have stored it in, and this is the batch, my former batch that I made like 2 months back, and this whole jar can hold for more than 6 months for us, because even if you make the soup powder every day, it's just 1 tablespoon that we use for many different recipes, but I'm just talking about the rasam soup powder. And I'm just going to go ahead and transfer this. You can also cool down even after you grind it, and I just want you guys to see the consistency and the texture over here while I transfer this. And recently we made this drumstick curry rice, and this is the powder that we added in that, and I promised that I will add a link about this rasam powder recipe in that drumstick rice curry video. Please do check it out under the link for rasam powder. And here you go, your very own rasam powder is ready, and you can store it in an airtight container for like up to 6 months, and it's good to go. See you guys in the next video.